What happens when the drum stool that brought you worldwide attention becomes the very place you feel trapped? Today, we turn our attention to Cena drums, born Sina During, a German drummer whose YouTube meteoric rise has brought her fame, collaboration acclaim, and some believe a secret burden. The headlines often celebrate her as a virtuoso covering classic rock and releasing her own projects, but beneath that surface lies a story of expectation, creative tension, and evolving identity. In the next few minutes, we'll trace her journey from prodigious beginnings to global recognition, examine the often hidden challenges of her path, and ask the critical question: has this extraordinary rise empowered her as an artist, or has it boxed her into a role she can't escape? At an age when most children are learning to tie their shoes, one young drummer was already riding the rhythm of a touring tribute band. Born on May 6, 1999 in Marburg, Germany, Sina grew up in a household steeped in music. Her father, Michael During, aka Mike Wilbury, worked as a live and studio musician, and her mother played piano and sang for pleasure. By 2 years old, she was accompanying her father on tour with his Beatles tribute band, absorbing the atmosphere of live performance at an astonishingly early age. She began regular drums lessons in 2009, yet her breakout moment arrived in 2013 when she launched her YouTube channel, uploading a drum cover at just 14 years old. In that moment, what looked like a teenager's hobby became a platform that would amplify her globally, and the question that followed was, can a teenager handle that scale of exposure and expectation? In the next chapter, we'll follow how she turned that early spark into international recognition. Hook, the clicks started pouring in, and soon, the rest of the music world could no longer ignore her. From the moment her YouTube channel began gaining traction, Sina emerged as one of the world's most watched female drummers, known for high-energy covers of rock and metal classics. Her uploads snowballed. By mid-2025, she surpassed 1.8 million subscribers and hundreds of millions of views. This visibility opened doors, allowing her to collaborate and perform with established musicians. Credibility followed. Industry veterans praised her precision and versatility, but along with public acclaim came pressures most young artists don't face. With so many eyes on her, opportunities multiplied, and so did expectations of consistency, speed, and spectacle. The next section explores how that same platform which elevated her also started revealing tensions between covering hits and creating her own music. She had the chops, the audience, and the record deal, but the path to originality proved more complicated than it looked. In 2016, Sina launched her own project under the name Kai Might, collaborating with musicians from around the world and releasing an album via Rockwork Records. That move signaled ambition to go beyond cover videos and carve out her own sound. Yet the bulk of her YouTube growth and audience engagement remained rooted in cover performances, songs recorded with original audio backing tracks, which carried inherent limitations. According to her own statements, while views soared, revenue and rights were complicated because many covers used copyrighted material. In other words, the mechanism that made her famous also constrained her creative freedom. She faced the dilemma of pleasing a large fan base that expected the cover star she had become, while also wanting to evolve into an artist with her own voice. And what followed would test how she reconciled those. Success often carries a hidden cost, and for Sina, that cost has shown up in artistic, financial, and personal form. As a YouTube star who rose through covers, she confronted a major structural issue. Even though her videos drew millions of views, much of the revenue went to the rights holders of the original music she covered. In essence, the platform that built her brand offered less reward than it appeared. Meanwhile, relocating from her father's basement studio to a houseboat in the Netherlands, and later moving to London in 2024, reflect not just lifestyle shifts, but perhaps the weight of building a career under intense microscope. Beyond operational challenges, There's the psychological tension of being defined by a public persona. When you're that young drummer who kills covers, what happens when you want to show a different side of your creativity? One major question emerges. Is this fame empowering her or limiting her? The next section delves into the rumors and unspoken speculations around her trajectory. In the world of public figures, silence speaks as loudly as the headlines, and Cena's subtle story holds more questions than straightforward answers. While there are no major public scandals, an undercurrent of speculation persists. Will she ever break free from her cover drummer identity and be remembered as a full-fledged artist? Some observers suggest her formal studies in jazz and pop at the RTZ Conservatory, which she completed in June 2024, might signal a pivot, a conscious attempt to redirect her narrative. Others point to the fact that despite her technical mastery, the vast majority of her channel's views still originate from covers rather than original compositions, raising the possibility that fame built on one path might limit the freedom to choose another. And when a creator becomes famous for something very specific, the audience can resist change. So the question lingers, can she shift that identity? And if so, will the audience follow? Up next, her talent, talent alone cannot guarantee legacy. But in Cena's case, the talent is unmistakable and the legacy remains uncertain. Her drumming technique has earned praise from industry legends, including one who called her cover rendition brilliant. She has released 3 albums under her own project, worked with major figures in rock, toured Europe with orchestral rock productions, and holds a bachelor's in jazz and pop drums as of June 2024. But will she be remembered for her viral drum covers or for her original artistry? That's the critical divide. On one side is a YouTube phenomenon whose proficiency set her apart. On the other side is an artist still navigating how to convert views into an autonomous identity. Her future growth depends on her capacity to evolve beyond the genre that first made her famous. The next and final section will tie together this dual narrative and leave you with the open question. We've followed the arc of a young drummer who leveraged the internet into global recognition, explored the structural and creative challenges that followed, and raised the pivotal question. Is Sina Drums a towering genius whose work will stand the test of time? Or is she a cautionary example of someone caught in the trap of her own fame? The answer is likely neither wholly one nor the other. It lies in how she now navigates the transition from viral sensation to independent artist. What will define her legacy? Will she deliver original work that matches the viral energy she built? Or will the audience continue to expect the cover format that made her famous? The road ahead is open, and your voice matters. What do you believe about Cena's journey? Drop your thoughts in the comments and keep an eye on where she heads next.